My dear sisters, every sunrise is not just another day. It is God's personal reminder that you have been given one more chance to grow, to rise, and to transform. Life does not change in a year, it changes in the small choices you make every day. And when you invite God into those choices, every moment becomes an opportunity to create a better version of yourself. We often wait for a big miracle to change our life. We think one major event, one achievement, one relationship, or one success will suddenly make everything better. But the truth is, change is not a one-time miracle, it is a daily discipline. Every day, God gives us 24 hours like a blank page. What we write on that page is in our hands. And if we learn to make small, conscious improvements daily, with gratitude, with faith, and with self-awareness, we will see an extraordinary transformation. Today, I want to share with you 7 powerful ways women can change their lives every single day. When a new day begins, the very first breath we take is itself a gift. Yet most of us open our eyes and instantly rush into worries. What work do I have today? What bills need to be paid? What responsibilities are waiting for me? Without even realizing, we allow stress to enter before peace has had a chance to settle. But imagine if instead of beginning the day with tension, we began with gratitude. Gratitude is not simply saying, thank you. It is a state of awareness, a way of seeing life, and a form of worship where we acknowledge that everything we have and everything we are comes from God. Think about it. Did you control your heartbeat throughout the night? Did you remind your lungs to breathe while you slept? Did you switch on the sunlight this morning? No. Yet all of this happened for you. That is why the moment you wake up is the perfect moment to say, thank you, God, for another day. Gratitude changes the chemistry of the mind. When you choose thankfulness over complaints, you create a vibration of positivity around you that influences not only your own mood, but also the mood of the people you meet. Let's take a simple example. Picture 2 women waking up in the morning. The first one opens her eyes and sighs, "Oh no, another stressful day, I don't want to do this." She drags herself out of bed, already irritated, already tired. By the time she interacts with her family or colleagues, her words carry that heaviness. Even small things trigger her, because she began her day with dissatisfaction. Now imagine the second woman. She wakes up, places her hand on her heart and whispers, "Thank you, God, for this new morning, for my health, for my family, for the chance to try again." She smiles before her feet touch the floor. When she meets her loved ones, her energy is different. She radiates calmness, she is patient with challenges, and even when problems come, her heart is steady because she knows the day itself is already a blessing. This is the power of starting with gratitude. Gratitude does not mean life is perfect. It does not mean you ignore your struggles. Rather, it means you choose to focus first on what is already good, already working, already present in your life. When you see the glass half full instead of half empty, you invite more abundance. God increases the blessings of those who are thankful, because thankfulness shows maturity of the soul. Complaining, on the other hand, is like telling God, "What you have given me is not enough." Such an attitude blocks inner peace and attracts dissatisfaction. Think of gratitude as a muscle. It grows stronger when you exercise it daily. Start with small steps. When you wake up, name 3 things you are thankful for: your breath, your home, your loved ones, or even the quiet of the morning. Say it in your heart with sincerity. Over time, your mind will automatically lean toward gratitude in every situation. For example, instead of saying, "I hate the traffic," you will think, Thank you, God, that I have a job to travel to. Instead of, I am tired of cooking, you will think, thank you, God, that I have food to cook. It is this shift in perspective that changes the quality of your entire day. Another way to deepen gratitude is to connect it with action. If you are grateful for your health, honor your body with proper rest and nourishment. If you are grateful for your family, express love to them in words and actions. If you are grateful for time, use it wisely instead of wasting it. Gratitude without action is like a flower that blooms, but never releases fragrance. The true beauty of gratitude is seen when it inspires how we live. Daily life will always bring challenges. There will be days when you wake up with pain, disappointment, or worry. But even on those days, gratitude can give you strength. A woman who whispers, "Thank you, God, for giving me another chance to try," carries a power that no difficulty can break. She understands that problems are temporary, but gratitude keeps the heart steady and strong. There is also a hidden benefit to beginning the day with gratitude. It improves relationships. A grateful woman is less likely to complain about small mistakes and more likely to appreciate small efforts. Her husband, her children, her friends, and her colleagues feel respected in her presence because she notices their good qualities. Gratitude becomes contagious when she says, "I am thankful for you." Others feel inspired to express their own appreciation. Slowly, this creates an environment of love, respect, and peace. Most importantly, starting the day with gratitude keeps you connected to God. Gratitude is like a conversation with the divine. It is as if you are saying, "I see your gifts, I recognize your kindness, I remember you in the details of my life." This connection brings serenity that cannot be bought with money or achieved with fame. Gratitude roots you in faith, reminding you that no matter what the day holds, you are guided, protected, and blessed. So tomorrow, when you open your eyes, don't rush to grab your phone. Don't rush into stress. Pause, place your hand on your heart, breathe, and say silently or aloud, "Thank you, God, for this new day, for this life, for another chance." Let gratitude be the first thought of your morning, and you will see how your days begin to transform, one sunrise at a time. Every day, your mind is like a fertile field. Whatever seeds you plant there will eventually grow into the reality of your life. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, jealousy, or fear, you will find yourself surrounded by weeds of unhappiness and dissatisfaction. But if you choose to plant seeds of faith, positivity, and hope, your life will blossom into strength, courage, and peace. The choice of what grows in your mind is yours. And it begins with the kind of thoughts you allow to take root. We often underestimate the power of our thoughts. Think about it: before any action is taken, before any word is spoken, before any habit is formed, there is always a thought. A woman does not become strong, resilient, or wise overnight. She becomes that way because she has trained her mind to think in uplifting, empowering directions. In the same way, a woman does not become weak, anxious, or hopeless by chance. She allows negative thoughts to dominate her inner world. That is why choosing your thoughts every day is one of the most powerful ways to change your life. Let's look at a real life example. Imagine a woman walking into her workplace. She thinks to herself, "I am not good enough. People don't respect me. I will probably make mistakes again today." As the day goes on, her confidence sinks lower, and her actions reflect the doubt she has already planted in her mind. Even if she is skilled, her own negative thoughts stop her from shining. Now picture another woman in the same workplace. She tells herself, "I am learning every day. God has given me strength and intelligence, and I can handle today with patience and confidence. Even if challenges come her way, she carries herself differently. She is not perfect, but her uplifting thoughts give her the courage to face difficulties with dignity. This is the difference thoughts make. Your mind is not just a private space, it is the control room of your entire life. And what you allow inside will eventually show outside. If you fill your mind with uplifting thoughts, your body language will change, your tone of voice will soften, your resilience will strengthen, and your presence will inspire others. People may not see your thoughts, but they will always feel their energy. Of course, life constantly throws challenges at us. Negative thoughts will come naturally, like dark clouds on a sunny day. But just because a thought comes does not mean you must entertain it. For example, if a stranger knocks on your door and you do not trust them, would you invite them inside and let them stay? No, you would close the door politely but firmly. In the same way, when a negative thought enters your mind, you do not have to welcome it, feed it, and let it build a home. You can simply say, "This thought does not serve me, it does not align with God's light, and I will not allow it to stay." Then, replace it with a thought that uplifts. One practical way to do this is through affirmations. Affirmations are not magic words, they are reminders. For example, instead of repeating, "I am a failure," you remind yourself, "I am growing, I am learning, and God is guiding me." Instead of thinking, "Nobody values me," you tell yourself, "My worth is not dependent on others. I am valuable because I am a creation of God." Over time, these thoughts shape your inner reality, and your outer world begins to reflect it. Another way to choose uplifting thoughts is to carefully manage what you consume. The mind is like a sponge, it absorbs whatever you feed it. If you spend your day scrolling through negative news, comparing yourself to others on social media, or listening to people who constantly complain, your mind will naturally bend toward negativity. But if you read words of wisdom, listen to uplifting talks, or surround yourself with people who inspire and support you, your mind will naturally bend toward positivity. Just as healthy food nourishes the body, uplifting input nourishes the soul. Choosing uplifting thoughts also means being gentle with yourself. Many women silently criticize themselves for every small mistake. "I am not beautiful enough, not smart enough, not successful enough." But remember, God did not create you to constantly put yourself down. You are not meant to be perfect, you are meant to grow. If a friend made a mistake, would you scold her endlessly? Or would you encourage her to try again? Then why not treat yourself with the same kindness? Choosing gentle, forgiving thoughts for yourself is as important as choosing positive thoughts about life. Imagine waking up in the morning and before stepping out of bed saying to yourself, "Today is a new chance. I choose to think with hope, with faith, with strength. I will not allow my mind to become a prison of fear. I will let it be a garden of peace and growth." Imagine carrying that mindset into your work, your family, your relationships. Do you see how different your day would feel? Not because circumstances have changed, but because your thoughts have changed. The most powerful truth about thoughts is this: they are contagious. If you keep uplifting thoughts, the people around you will feel uplifted. A mother who thinks with patience passes that calmness to her children. A wife who thinks with respect reflects that in her marriage. A leader who thinks with courage inspires her team. By choosing uplifting thoughts, you are not only changing yourself, you are also changing the atmosphere of every room you enter. So remember this: you are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the creator of them. Negative thoughts may knock, but you hold the key. Decide every day what kind of thoughts you will allow into your mind, because those thoughts will become your reality. Choose thoughts that uplift you, strengthen you, and connect you with God. For when your mind is filled with light, your life cannot remain in darkness. Kindness is often misunderstood as something grand, something that requires big gestures, wealth, or power. But in truth, the purest form of kindness is found in the smallest of actions: the gentle smile, the patient word, the helping hand, the silent prayer for someone in need. These are not acts that demand much effort or cost, but they carry the power to heal, to uplift, and to transform hearts. God has placed kindness within us as a light, and every time we show it in daily life, that light grows brighter, not only for us, but also for those around us. Think of a moment when you were having a difficult day. Maybe your heart was heavy, maybe life seemed too overwhelming. And then, suddenly, someone smiled at you in passing, or a friend asked, "How are you really doing?" That small act did not erase your problems, but it made your burden feel lighter. This is the silent magic of kindness. It enters the heart quietly, yet it leaves an impact louder than any words. We often wait for opportunities to do something great, but life gives us countless small moments where we can be kind. For example, when standing in a long line, instead of showing frustration, offer a smile to the cashier who has been dealing with people all day. When you see someone struggling with heavy bags, step forward and help them carry the load. When you hear someone share their troubles, instead of judging or ignoring, simply listen with patience. These may look like ordinary actions, but they are extraordinary in the eyes of God, for He values the sincerity behind them. Kindness also means speaking gently. Words can either be weapons that wound or medicine that heals. How often do we, in moments of stress, say sharp words to those we love? Later, we regret, but the scar of that word lingers in the heart of the other. Choosing kindness in speech means pausing before we respond, softening our tone, and remembering that the person in front of us is a soul created by God. A kind word may seem small to you, but to someone else, it can be the reason they smile after days of sadness. Sometimes, kindness is not even about what we do outwardly, but about the thoughts we hold inwardly. When we see someone succeed, instead of feeling jealous, we can silently wish them well. When we notice someone struggling, we can pray for them quietly in our hearts. These unseen acts of kindness are known to God alone, and they carry immense power because they come without expectation of recognition or reward. Let's take a real life scenario. Imagine a woman traveling in a crowded bus. She notices an elderly person struggling to stand, and even though she is tired after a long day, she offers her seat. In that moment, she practices kindness. That simple act not only eases the old person's pain, but also inspires others in the bus to be more considerate. This is how kindness spreads. It is like a ripple in water. One act can touch many lives in ways we cannot measure. Kindness also means patience in situations where anger feels easier. For example, when your child spills something by mistake, instead of shouting, you take a deep breath and say, "It's okay, let's clean it together." Or when a colleague forgets to complete their part of the work, instead of insulting them, you encourage them to try again. This type of kindness requires strength because it is easier to react negatively. But when you choose kindness, you are showing not weakness, but mastery over yourself. One of the most beautiful truths about kindness is that it always returns to you. It may not return immediately or from the same person, but the energy you put into the world will find its way back. A kind woman creates a circle of blessings around herself. People respect her, trust her, and feel peace in her presence. And even if people do not acknowledge it, God never lets a single act of kindness go unnoticed. The best part is, kindness does not require you to be rich, powerful, or perfect. It only requires awareness. Sometimes, holding the door open for someone, offering your time to listen, or sharing a meal with someone who has less is enough to change their entire day. These little acts, when done consistently, build a character so strong and beautiful that people will remember you not for what you owned, but for how you made them feel. Even in moments of pain, you can practice kindness. A woman going through struggles may still comfort another who is suffering. This shows that kindness is not dependent on circumstances, but on the heart. Such kindness is the highest form because it comes from a place of empathy and understanding. So, let us not underestimate the power of small acts. You may never know whose day you brighten, whose faith you restore, whose tears you wipe away simply by being kind. God has placed this gift within you so that you can be His instrument of love in the world. And every time you practice kindness in small ways, you not only change the moment, you change yourself. Your soul becomes lighter, and your heart becomes softer, and your life becomes more meaningful. When the day ends and you look back, the question is not how much wealth you earned or how much recognition you received, but how many hearts you touched with your kindness. Because in the end, the smallest acts of love are the greatest treasures of the soul. One of the heaviest burdens a woman can carry is not the weight of her responsibilities, not the load of her daily tasks, but the unseen weight of hurt she stores in her heart. Words spoken in anger, betrayals from people she trusted, mistakes from her past, regrets that replay like an endless film. These become chains that silently hold her down. Life already gives us enough challenges to face each day. But when we hold on to old pain, we multiply our own suffering. That is why one of the most powerful acts of strength is not holding on, but learning to let go. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending that what happened never hurt you. It means you choose not to allow that pain to control your present and poison your future. Holding on to hurt is like holding a burning coal in your hand. You think you are protecting yourself by keeping it, but in reality, you are only burning your own skin. The person who hurt you may not even remember their action, but you, by refusing to release it, suffer over and over again. Letting go is the act of putting down that burning coal and saying, I will no longer let this define me. Or take the example of two women. The first one was deeply insulted by a friend years ago. Every time she sees that friend or hears their name, her mind replays the insult. Her heart fills with bitterness, and she feels anger rise even though time has passed. The second woman also faced an insult, but she told herself, yes, it hurt, but I will not let this wound continue to bleed. I forgive, not because they deserve it, but because I deserve peace. The first woman remains trapped in her past, while the second one walks lighter, freer, happier. The difference is not in what happened to them, but in how they chose to carry it. Life is too precious to be wasted on carrying old grudges. When you wake up in the morning, God has given you a new day, a blank page, yet if you fill it with yesterday's pain, you never allow yourself to see today's beauty. Letting go is a conscious choice to free your heart so you can embrace the opportunities of now. Imagine walking through a garden with your hands full of stones. You cannot pick the flowers or enjoy the fragrance because your hands are too heavy. The same is true with hurt. If your heart is filled with stones of resentment, you cannot hold the flowers of joy, peace, and love. Another way hurt lingers is through guilt and regret about ourselves. Many women punish themselves daily for mistakes they made years ago. They replay the what ifs and if onlys, forgetting that God has already given them countless chances to start again. Carrying regret is like driving a car while only looking in the rear view mirror. You will crash because life is meant to move forward, not backward. Letting go of your own mistakes does not mean ignoring them. It means learning from them, asking God for strength to do better, and then walking forward without dragging the past like a heavy chain. Consider the story of a mother who once shouted at her child in anger. She regretted it immediately, but instead of staying trapped in guilt, she chose to apologize, hug her child, and promise herself to handle things better. Another mother in the same situation carried her guilt for years, constantly punishing herself and weakening her spirit. The first mother let go, learned, and grew stronger. The second held on and lived in self-blame. Letting go of what hurts is not only about forgiving others, but also forgiving yourself. Sometimes we fear that letting go means weakness, that if we forgive, people will walk over us. But the truth is, letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. It means you value your peace more than you value holding on to poison. When you refuse to let go, you are keeping yourself locked in a prison that you built with your own thoughts. Letting go is unlocking that prison door and walking into freedom. There is also a spiritual dimension to this. When you let go, you are telling God, I trust you to handle what I cannot. I release this burden into your hands. This surrender brings relief because you no longer feel the need to control every outcome or seek revenge. You recognize that God sees all, knows all, and will handle justice in His time. Your only responsibility is to keep your heart light, your spirit clean, and your journey forward. Letting go can be practiced in daily life through small steps. When someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of carrying anger all day, you take a breath and say, it's not worth my peace. When a colleague speaks harshly, instead of replaying their words all night, you remind yourself, their words do not define me. I will not give them the power to ruin my mood. When an old memory arises, instead of drowning in it, you whisper, that was yesterday. Today, I choose freedom. These small practices of release build the strength to let go of bigger wounds over time. At the end of the day, letting go is a gift you give yourself. It is the gift of peace, of joy, of being fully alive in the present moment. A woman who learns to let go of what hurts her shines differently. Her smile is brighter, her presence is lighter, and her soul feels closer to God. People around her feel at ease because she does not carry hidden bitterness. And most importantly, she feels at ease with herself. So ask yourself, what hurt am I still carrying that is stealing my peace? Is it worth more than my happiness, my growth, my connection with God? If not, then perhaps today is the day to release it. Because when you let go of what hurts you, you do not lose, you gain. You gain freedom, you gain peace, and you gain the ability to live fully in the gift of today.